Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be fearless? Is fearlessness an absence of fear, or is it something deeper, an inner state of knowing that transcends all external circumstances? When we speak of the power of a fearless woman, we are not speaking of someone who never experiences fear. No, fear is a part of life, but the fearless woman is one who understands that fear is not her master. Fear is simply a mental construct, a shadow of what could be, not a reality. Fearlessness is an inner state, a conscious choice that originates from the deepest part of a woman's being. It is the awareness that her thoughts and beliefs shape her world. It is in recognizing that the only thing standing between her and her fullest potential is her own mind. A fearless woman is not someone who ignores fear, but someone who recognizes it, acknowledges it, and then rises above it. She knows that fear only has power if she allows it to. Let us speak of imagination, the divine tool that all women possess to manifest their highest desires. It is through imagination that a woman sees herself as fearless, not as she is, but as she could be. When a woman begins to picture herself standing tall, confident, and capable, she begins to embody that image. What is imagined and felt deeply becomes real in her world. The fearless woman is one who is conscious of her mental imagery and consciously chooses to imagine herself living her dreams, unencumbered by the doubts that others may have. But let us not mistake fearlessness for the absence of challenge. A fearless woman is a woman who has learned to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. She knows that every obstacle is not a setback but a lesson, a gift in disguise. Every difficulty that comes her way is a chance to stretch her capacity, to evolve, to discover new depths of resilience within herself. Fearlessness then becomes not a denial of challenges, but a fierce commitment to confront them head-on. How does she face these challenges? The fearless woman trusts herself. She trusts her intuition, her ability to discern what is true and right for her. She trusts that no matter what the external world presents, she has the power to navigate it. Self-trust is the foundation of her strength. When a woman trusts herself, there is no limit to what she can accomplish. It is this trust that allows her to make bold decisions, to take risks, and to step into the unknown with confidence. This trust, however, is not cold or detached. A fearless woman is empathetic and compassionate. She does not harden herself to the world. On the contrary, her power grows through her ability to empathize, to understand the struggles of others, and to offer her support. Fearlessness does not come from an absence of vulnerability, but from the strength to remain open-hearted, even in the face of adversity. She knows that through compassion, she builds connections that fuel her growth and elevate others. As a woman begins to understand the power within her, she will come to realize that fearlessness is not a singular trait, but a reflection of the beliefs she holds about herself and the world around her. The fearless woman does not see herself as a passive observer of life's events. She is an active participant, a creator of her reality. She crafts the life she desires by holding firm to the vision of her highest self and refusing to let anything sway her from it. Let us also recognize that the power of a fearless woman is not about standing alone in strength. It is about using that strength to lift others, to inspire those around her. A fearless woman knows that her power is magnified when she shares it, when she encourages other women to rise alongside her. She understands that the true measure of power is not in how high she climbs alone, but in how many others she brings with her. The power of a fearless woman is not in her ability to avoid fear, but in her ability to face it, to rise above it, and to use it as a catalyst for growth. It is in her unwavering trust in herself, her compassionate heart, and her ability to see challenges as opportunities for transformation. A fearless woman does not wait for the world to give her permission to shine. She knows that she is the creator of her own reality, and through the power of her thoughts and beliefs, she transforms her world into one of limitless possibility. The question then is not whether you can be fearless, but whether you are ready to embrace the power that is already within you. Fearlessness is not the absence of fear, rather, it is the understanding that fear is an emotion that does not dictate one's actions or potential. A fearless woman recognizes that fear is a natural part of the human experience, but she does not allow it to control her. She understands that fear, like any emotion, is transient. It rises, it peaks, and then it passes. However, it is in that moment when fear surfaces that a woman's true power is revealed. The fearless woman does not act from a place of fear instead. She acts from a place of awareness and choice. This awareness allows her to see fear for what it truly is, a mental construct. It is not the fear of failure, judgment, or pain that holds her back, but rather her belief in the power that these fears have over her. When a woman becomes aware that these fears are simply reflections of her thoughts and beliefs, she is empowered to challenge them. She knows that the stories she tells herself about her limitations, about what she can or cannot do, are simply projections of her mind. A fearless woman begins to challenge the validity of these fears by questioning them. Why is she afraid to speak up? Why does she fear rejection or failure? The more she investigates these fears, the more she realizes that they are rooted in past experiences, societal conditioning, or imagined scenarios that have not yet come to pass. She comes to understand that fear thrives on uncertainty and the unknown, and the antidote to fear is not avoidance but knowledge. By educating herself about her own fears, a fearless woman removes the mystery and power that fear once held over her. She realizes that fear is often exaggerated in her mind. She recognizes that the worst-case scenario, which once seemed insurmountable, is often not as daunting when faced head-on. By taking action despite fear, she experiences the truth that fear is not a permanent obstacle, but a passing cloud. Each time she chooses to face her fears rather than succumb to them, she weakens their grip over her. As she continues to confront her fears, the woman begins to build a deep sense of self-assurance. She understands that fear is simply an invitation to grow. The more she steps out of her comfort zone and faces the unknown, the more resilient she becomes. Fear loses its power because she has learned that it is not a force to be feared, but an opportunity for growth. Every time she pushes through fear, she experiences firsthand that her capacity to handle difficult situations is greater than she once believed. Fearlessness is not about the complete eradication of fear, rather, it is about learning to live alongside it without allowing it to control her choices, her dreams, or her actions. The fearless woman knows that fear is not an enemy to be defeated, but a challenge to be faced with courage and wisdom. By reframing her relationship with fear, she empowers herself to move forward with confidence, trusting in her own abilities to overcome whatever comes her way. She understands that her power lies not in avoiding fear, but in mastering her response to it. Imagination is one of the most powerful tools a woman has at her disposal to create the life she desires. It is through imagination that she can visualize a reality where fear no longer holds her back, where she is free to express herself, to take risks, and to achieve greatness. The imagination is not merely a tool for fantasy, it is the blueprint for her future, a guiding force that shapes her actions, her beliefs, and ultimately her destiny. A fearless woman knows that the world around her is the result of what she has imagined, consciously or unconsciously, and she chooses to use her imagination to create a future filled with possibility and empowerment. When a woman imagines herself as fearless, she is not merely daydreaming. She is actively engaging in the process of self-creation. Imagination allows her to step into a version of herself that exists beyond the limitations imposed by her current circumstances. She envisions herself standing tall, speaking confidently, and taking bold actions in the face of uncertainty. In doing so, she begins to align her thoughts, feelings, and behaviors with this vision, which gradually shifts her external reality. Imagination is the key to unlocking potential, because it allows her to see beyond her current limitations and embrace the reality she desires. This process of visualization is more than a mental exercise, it is an act of faith. A fearless woman understands that what she imagines, believes, and feels strongly about has the potential to manifest in her life. She trusts that the images she holds in her mind are not just wishful thinking, but the seeds of her future experiences. When she imagines herself as fearless, she is planting the seeds of courage, confidence, and strength that will later blossom into tangible results. Through repetition and consistency, these mental images begin to take root in her subconscious mind, guiding her decisions and actions in ways that bring her closer to her goals. Imagination is not limited to personal achievements, it extends to how a woman envisions her relationships, her community, and the world around her. She imagines herself making a positive impact, using her strength to uplift others, and contributing to a world that reflects her values and aspirations. A fearless woman uses her imagination to transcend personal limitations and expand her vision of what is possible. She sees herself not only overcoming challenges but thriving in them, creating a life where her dreams and desires are not just possible but inevitable. The power of imagination lies in its ability to create alignment between thought and action. As a woman imagines herself as fearless, she becomes more attuned to the opportunities around her. She begins to act in ways that support her vision, taking calculated risks and stepping into situations she once would have avoided. Each step she takes in alignment with her imagination strengthens her belief in her ability to succeed. Her imagination, once activated, propels her toward her goals, not with force but with a gentle yet unstoppable momentum. Imagination also allows a woman to overcome past fears and failures. She can mentally rewrite the story she has told herself about what is possible. If she has previously believed that she is not capable of achieving something, she can now imagine herself doing it with ease. By revisiting and revising these mental narratives, she reprograms her subconscious mind, shifting her perception of what is achievable. A fearless woman understands that her past does not define her future, and through the power of imagination, she is free to create new possibilities for herself, regardless of her history. Imagination is not just a passive tool for dreaming, it is an active process of self-empowerment. It is through imagination that a woman steps into her power, breaks free from limiting beliefs, and creates a life that reflects her highest vision of herself. The more she imagines, the more she becomes the woman she envisions. Through the creative force of her imagination, she brings her fearless self into reality. A fearless woman knows that her mind is the most powerful tool she possesses. Her beliefs shape her reality, and it is often her limiting beliefs that hold her back from stepping fully into her power. These beliefs are like invisible barriers, often constructed from past experiences, societal expectations, or personal doubts. A fearless woman understands that these beliefs are not facts, they are simply stories she has accepted as truth. Recognizing and overcoming these limiting beliefs is one of the most important steps toward becoming truly fearless. Limiting beliefs often form when a person faces failure or rejection, or when they are conditioned to believe that they are not capable of achieving their dreams. For a woman, these beliefs may stem from societal expectations or stereotypes about what she can or cannot do. She may have been told that certain careers, roles, or achievements are out of her reach simply because of her gender, background, or experiences. These beliefs can manifest as self-doubt, fear of failure, or a sense of inadequacy. However, a fearless woman knows that these beliefs are not inherent truths, they are simply beliefs that can be challenged and changed. The first step in overcoming limiting beliefs is awareness. A fearless woman takes the time to reflect on the thoughts and beliefs that hold her back. She asks herself questions like, what do I truly believe about my abilities? Or what stories have I been telling myself about what I am capable of? By recognizing these beliefs, she gains the power to separate herself from them. Instead of identifying with them, she begins to see them as mere thoughts that can be questioned and redefined. Once a woman becomes aware of her limiting beliefs, the next step is to challenge them. A fearless woman does not accept these beliefs as gospel. Instead, she actively questions their validity. She asks herself, is this belief based on facts, or is it just a story I have accepted? She may even look for evidence in her own life that contradicts the belief. For example, if she has always believed that she is not good enough to pursue a certain career, she may look at her past achievements, strengths, and skills to see how they align with her desired goal. Through this process, she begins to dismantle the belief that has been holding her back. A powerful tool in overcoming limiting beliefs is replacing them with empowering beliefs. A fearless woman understands that the mind can only focus on one thought at a time. By consciously choosing to replace negative, limiting beliefs with positive, empowering ones, she begins to rewire her thought patterns. For example, if she has always believed that she is not worthy of success, she might replace this belief with the affirmation, I am worthy of every success that comes my way over time. These empowering beliefs begin to take root, and they start to influence her actions and decisions. This process requires patience and persistence, as old beliefs are often deeply ingrained. However, a fearless woman is committed to changing her mindset. She knows that the more she consciously challenges her limiting beliefs and replaces them with beliefs that support her growth, the more she begins to see the world in a different light. She starts to notice new opportunities, experiences, and relationships that align with her empowered beliefs. By overcoming limiting beliefs, a woman frees herself from the mental shackles that once held her back. She becomes more confident in her abilities, more willing to take risks, and more open to new possibilities. As she lets go of the beliefs that no longer serve her, she makes room for new, expansive beliefs that support her growth and success. Fearlessness, in this sense, is not about the absence of fear, but the ability to recognize and overcome the beliefs that would keep her small. When a woman embraces the truth that her beliefs shape her reality, she becomes unstoppable in her pursuit of her goals and dreams. Self-trust is one of the cornerstones of fearlessness. A fearless woman knows that the foundation of her power lies in her ability to trust herself. Self-trust is not about being perfect or always having the right answers. It is about having confidence in her own judgment, instincts, and ability to navigate life's challenges. Trusting herself means acknowledging that she has the strength, wisdom, and resilience to handle whatever comes her way. It is through self-trust that a woman becomes unstoppable, able to make decisions with clarity and act with courage, even in the face of uncertainty. At the heart of self-trust is a deep belief in one's own abilities. A fearless woman recognizes that she is capable of achieving anything she sets her mind to, because she knows she has the resources within herself to adapt, learn, and grow. She does not wait for external validation or approval. She trusts her own experiences, insights, and inner wisdom. This trust comes from consistently showing up for herself, making choices that align with her values, and acknowledging her own growth along the way. Each time she takes an action based on her inner guidance and sees the results, her trust in herself deepens. Trusting herself also means embracing her intuition. A fearless woman understands that intuition is not a vague, mystical force, but a natural ability that arises from her experiences and instincts. Her intuition serves as a compass, guiding her toward decisions that align with her higher purpose. She knows that her gut feelings are often the voice of her subconscious mind, which draws from her life experiences and wisdom. Trusting her intuition is not about always making the perfect choice, but about listening to her inner voice and following the direction that feels most authentic and true to her. Self-trust is built through self-acceptance. A fearless woman accepts herself as she is, with all her strengths, weaknesses, and imperfections. She does not seek to be someone else or measure her worth against the expectations of others. Instead, she celebrates her uniqueness and understands that her individuality is what gives her power. By accepting herself fully, she allows space for growth, knowing that she doesn't need to be perfect to be worthy of success or happiness. This self-acceptance creates a strong foundation for self-trust, as it enables her to move through life without fear of judgment or criticism. A fearless woman also knows that self-trust involves taking responsibility for her life and choices. She does not blame others or external circumstances for her situation. Instead, she acknowledges that her life is a reflection of the choices she has made. When things don't go as planned, she doesn't retreat into self-doubt or self-criticism. Instead, she views setbacks as learning experiences, using them to refine her approach and make better decisions moving forward. Self-trust, therefore, involves an unwavering commitment to taking ownership of her life and continuously making choices that reflect her highest values and goals. Self-trust also requires patience. A fearless woman knows that trust is built over time through consistent actions and decisions. There may be moments of doubt or uncertainty, but she does not let those moments define her. Instead, she shows up for herself every day, gradually proving to herself that she is capable, resourceful, and worthy of her dreams. As she builds this trust, she becomes more resilient, more confident in her ability to face challenges, and more willing to take risks. She knows that the journey may not always be easy, but she has the trust in herself to keep going, no matter what. By trusting herself, a fearless woman steps into her true power. She no longer seeks validation from others, nor does she hesitate when it comes to making decisions or taking action. Her self-trust becomes an unshakable foundation upon which she builds her life, her relationships, and her success. When she trusts herself, she becomes the creator of her own destiny, unwavering in the face of obstacles and fully aligned with her purpose. Self-trust is the bedrock upon which fearlessness is built, and it is the key to unlocking a woman's greatest potential. Empathy and compassion are often viewed as qualities that make one vulnerable, but for a fearless woman, these attributes are powerful strengths. A fearless woman does not harden her heart or shield herself from the world. Instead, she embraces her sensitivity and uses it to connect deeply with others. She understands that empathy allows her to tap into the emotions, needs, and experiences of others, enabling her to build strong relationships and make a meaningful impact. Far from diminishing her strength, her ability to empathize and show compassion enhances her power, as it allows her to lead with understanding and authenticity. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. For a fearless woman, empathy is not just an emotional response, it is a way of seeing the world. She takes the time to listen, to understand, and to feel with others, creating a sense of connection and trust. This deep understanding of others' emotions allows her to respond in ways that are supportive and empowering rather than reactive or judgmental. By being attuned to the needs and experiences of those around her, she is able to offer her support in a way that is both thoughtful and impactful. Empathy allows her to create an environment where others feel heard, valued, and understood, which fosters cooperation, collaboration, and mutual respect. The act of feeling concern for the suffering of others and desiring to alleviate it is a natural extension of empathy. A fearless woman does not turn away from the struggles of others. Instead, she steps in with a heart of compassion, offering help, kindness, and support when needed. Her compassion does not come from a place of weakness or martyrdom, but from a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all people. She knows that when she lifts others, she lifts herself as well. Compassion, for her, is a source of empowerment because it enables her to bring about positive change in the lives of others, and in doing so, it strengthens her own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Empathy and compassion allow a fearless woman to lead with integrity and authenticity. When she leads with empathy, she does so not from a place of authority or control, but from a place of shared humanity. She understands that true leadership is not about power over others, but about empowering others to reach their full potential. Her compassion drives her to act with kindness and fairness, considering the feelings and well-being of those she interacts with. This type of leadership creates a sense of loyalty and respect, as others are drawn to her not because of her position or title, but because of the genuine care she shows for them. Empathy and compassion strengthen a fearless woman's ability to navigate conflict and adversity. Rather than reacting with anger or defensiveness, she approaches challenges with a calm, understanding demeanor. She listens to all sides, seeks to understand the underlying issues, and works towards solutions that benefit everyone involved. Her ability to empathize with others' viewpoints allows her to find common ground, even in the most difficult situations. Compassion enables her to act with patience and kindness, knowing that every person's actions are often driven by their own fears, struggles, and experiences. This ability to remain compassionate and understanding in the face of adversity enhances her resilience, making her a more effective problem solver and a stronger leader. A fearless woman knows that embracing empathy and compassion does not make her weak, it makes her strong. These qualities are the foundation of deep, meaningful relationships and effective leadership. By being in touch with her emotions and the emotions of others, she creates a world around her that is grounded in mutual respect, kindness, and understanding. She understands that the more she gives of herself in terms of empathy and compassion, the more she receives in return strength, connection, and the ability to make a lasting impact. Through empathy and compassion, a fearless woman not only empowers others, but she also strengthens her own sense of power, purpose, and resilience.